Okay. We don't live in a van anymore.
Nope, we're in an apartment now.
Time to get you guys caught up.
We have not filled you in a very long time.
We haven't lived in the van in 3 months, and it's time we told you why.
Yes.
So here's our channel update, a what's next with Erik and Ko, and also this video will go over our 3 top reasons as to why van life just ain't working for us right now, and I made you a list. It's Clyde.
Just Clyde.
It's just Clyde.
He's the problem.
And we love him. We really do. But he's the problem.
We need to rewind a little bit and tell you sort of how we got to this point. We were always planning on stopping in Vancouver to work and earn a little bit more money before we continued our way to Argentina. The van was in desperate need of renovations.
Hi MTV, welcome to our crib. Everything is broken. First we have the stove featuring a really large crack that we got. I think that's everything, right? The fan in the toilet, that's broken. That was my fault. I peed all over it.
We have a ton of friends in Vancouver, and spending time with them was really important. And we kind of missed people after spending, 3 months in the north. So the plan was always that we were going to stay in Vancouver for something like 4 to 6 months before we kept going on our big adventure. But
pretty quickly into our time in Vancouver, the first week of September actually, things really started to go downhill with Clyde. We are back at the vet. All of the tests that they did last week didn't actually give us a lot of information. The vet is still very concerned about Clyde's well-being, just given that he lost so much weight. But essentially they did 6 x-rays, urine tests, blood tests, and nothing really came back conclusive of why he would have lost so much weight. So this is kind of last minute. We only spoke to the vet last night at 5 p.m. and he was like, I don't want to pressure you, but if we can get him in tomorrow, I think we should. So we're dropping our little baby off, and we're gonna keep our fingers crossed for the best, but sounds like something's up for sure. To sum up the last 3 months of what we've gone through with him.
As a keen viewer, you might have noticed a small blur on Ko's crotch in this scene. Yes, she has a hole in her sweatpants. We have delayed sharing this update for too long and refused to reshoot this. Please comment below if you think we should A, patch them, or B, get new sweatpants. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
The vet essentially communicated to us that they were concerned that he was dealing with something acute, like cancer, which obviously had us very, very concerned. And now, after 4 months, lots of tests, lots of money, essentially they've determined what we had already suspected, that our little old man is in fact just that. He's getting old and he's dealing with the repercussions of being an old dog. So essentially a big part of that is that he no longer has control over his bladder or his bowels, which, as you can imagine, has definitely increased the amount of laundry that we do every single day. Long story short, we just aren't willing to live in a van with a dog that pees constantly and poops constantly. And it's also really unfair to him, I think, with his increasing mobility issues, and we're suspecting some chronic pain at this point. Long-term van life just isn't the right time or place for him, and now for us, the people taking care of him. So obviously what was most important to us was that our little man is healthy and happy, and we were very relieved to hear that he wasn't dealing with something acute.
It took us a while to come to terms with sort of the end of van life with these new circumstances. It led to a couple of hard months. We had to figure out what we were going to do to continue living the life we wanted to live, to keep making the content we wanted to make. Now that we had to be stationary, we had to be in one place. We both loved making videos this summer.
All right.
I honestly feel giddy.
Publish it.
All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna press it.
First video ever, no going back now.
Ah, it's done.
We loved sharing our outdoor adventures and we really wanted to keep doing that. And so, you know, I think we finally landed on something that is exciting and is going to allow us to do that. And it's starting to feel, you know, more optimistic and hopeful for this, you know, new 2024 year, even though it's not necessarily going to be in the van.
So where does that lead us?
So that's why we're here in this apartment, but we're not in Vancouver.
No, no, no.
We're in Squamish.
We wanted to pick a place where we knew that the mountains were right outside our doorstep so that we could have peace and ease within the place that we're living, but also have adventure to keep content creating and living our truest, best life right outside our doorstep. And I mean, you really can't complain about the view here.
Look at the view here.
So, what can you expect from Erik and Co. now that we don't live in a van anymore?
You're still gonna get lots of outdoor travel content. You're still gonna get van content. We're not done with the van. We're still gonna do trips with it. We also have to renovate it, so.
Lots of renovations.
Lots of renovations.
And last but not least, you're gonna get lifestyle content, but stuff that's specifically geared towards living a fulfilling life and one with a focus on sustainability.
We hope you will continue to share in this adventure with us as we change and reset our channel.
News about Clyde and sort of what?
I just got in my eye.
I really thought you were laughing at me there.
I threw you off, didn't I?
It's okay. This is not public speaking.
No.
He's just gonna tip tap in the background the entire time.
Well, what